Hey, this is Ramon, Channel Alpha 4, and this is my update for NaNoWrimo Day 7. And I just got done with the workout, and I'm not looking very presentable, but whatever. You guys don't care. I got 1,000 words today, but not really. I got more like 500. The rest is just outline, and it's probably going to be scrapped tomorrow. The truth is, I'm having trouble figuring out a fight scene. So the two main characters have gotten to where they need to go to retrieve the horses and the cattle, but I can't figure out for the life of me. I can't figure out the fight. I know they've been using bronze weapons. I know that the field hands wouldn't be having good weapons. They would have, you know, more civilian style gear. So hammers, pickaxes, that kind of thing, axes. While my characters have bronze swords and bronze spears, and one has a shield. But figuring out the choreography of the fight is a little off. So I might take some of those little guys, and I might actually pose them and try to figure out the fight that way. When I wrote an epic war scene in a different book, what I actually did is I took 2 or 3 different video games, and I played through different simulations of how I wanted the fight to set up, and I just kind of watched it go, and I let the computer play it, and I just kind of guided, and I just see what would happen. And then after doing that, I then took took little figurines and I put them in the positions to try and get the what is it called? I had to look it up. Blocking. So to get the blocking correct for the action. So the choreography and the blocking I need to get done for the scene. Also, when I can, I like to get some former students or current students to spar with me. This one thing I wrote in particular a while back. I actually basically set up like a Halloween costume and tried out the moves to see if they would actually work in costume. So that was fun. So I mean, depending on how real and how realistic you want it to be within your book, you can take things pretty far and express your imagination in real life and just try things out. For instance, if you want to write what it's like to be in a fight, sometimes you got to get in a fight to know what it feels like. You want to talk about what it's like to ride a horse, you got to ride a horse, you know? Not all things literal, obviously. You don't have to do everything that's in your book, and I don't recommend that. But I do recommend finding out how much reality you can put into it. So you don't have to know how to ride a motorcycle to describe being on a motorcycle, but it helps. You don't have to know about swords, but it helps to have held one if you're going to describe the weight of a sword. Talking about horses, same thing. And again, you have the internet, so I mean, you can just look things up. You don't have to like actually do it. I was describing a hunting scene for one person I was writing for, and so I just watched like 5 or 6 different YouTube hunting videos, and then I extrapolated it from there, and I even read a hunting guide. So I mean, you don't have to actually do this stuff, but it's good to have the terminology down and have the rhythm down, and then run it by 2 or 3 friends who are hunters or who are into whatever it is you're writing about, and have them be like, yeah, that's how you would do it, or no, I would do this. And remember, each person will have a different way of doing things, so running it by 2 or 3 people is usually best. Don't just have one expert, because that one expert will have their own point of view. Get 2 or 3 from slightly different fields or slightly different expertise. They'll give you a pretty good rundown of how to do things. For instance, I like martial arts, so when I write my fight scenes, I like to spar with people, and I like to choreograph the fight scene that I'll do for the story. That's just what I like to do. So I can visualize that because I've been in a fight before. I know what that's like. But if I want to describe being an astronaut, obviously I haven't been that, so I'll have to watch video and I'll have to read up on it and see what actual astronauts have said about it. And obviously, if it's something that no one's ever done before, like meet aliens. You can just make stuff up, but you need to set the ground rules and make it sure everything's realistic. And whatever analogy you're using to get that information across to your audience, you want the analogy to be as accurate and as true as possible. So whatever analogy you're using to communicate the fantasy, you want the analogy to be accurate. Get it? So obviously not accurate to the fantasy thing because that's not a real thing, but you want the analogy you're using to be what the actual thing feels like. So if you want to describe being Silver Surfer as surfing on a wave, you're going to want to go ride a real wave on a surfboard and then translate that into what it feels like to navigate the solar winds. If you want to say that traveling through time is like riding a roller coaster, you're going to want to ride a roller coaster to describe that feeling accurately. I don't really have the right tools for this particular fight to do that. So I might actually instead draw it out. So tomorrow, instead of writing, I might be drawing. And I might actually draw the fight scene out. Not so much in storyboards, but in actual drawings. I've done that for stories before, and it does help to visualize the action. So I might do that, and if the drawing's any good, I might show it to you guys. Who knows? But anyway, that's my day 7. I am not keeping up with my word count. I am very behind at this point, but at least I'm writing. So that's more than I was doing a month ago. Anyway, peace. Talk to you guys later.